Alrighty then, we are live, man. That was skipping like crazy on your end, but hey, that's the fun of having live radio. You are listening live to the Decision Hour with Adam and James. We got a late start, but that's all right. We are live, so thanks for joining
With
us.
Adam, we're, we're listening to Decision Hour with JD and Adam, not Adam and James.
What did I say, Adam and James?
Yeah, you did.
I thought I said JD and Adam. Trying to be like James now. Which, by the way, big shout out to Radio Daddy number two, James, who should be coming home on leave here pretty soon, isn't he?
It's the rumor, not 100% sure, but that's hopefully here in the next 45 days.
Outstanding. For those of you that if this is your first time listening, you are listening in on the Vets on Media Radio Network. Find out more about Vets on Media, you can go to www.vetsonmedia.com. I am JD, and Adam is basically one of the co-founders, or not basically, he is one of the co-founders of Vets on Media, and then James is the other co-founder who's currently serving active duty in the United States Army overseas. So big shout out to James. Adam, how's your day going, buddy?
Hey, it's just another day.
Just another day. Well, you know what, man? Let's see
Just
if I
another
can.
day. How about you?
It actually went pretty well. It's going pretty well. I've got another ad running today that looks like it's going pretty good. I'm at about a 40 to 45% opt-in rate, which is pretty good by our standards. That means that at least 45% of the people that see our ad put in their email for more information, which is cool as hell. And that's basically how you run an online business. There's other things that you got to do besides run ads, but you actually have to be, good at what you do, which I am. No pun intended. I mean, I'm pretty good. So I'm not the best though. I'm not like Tracy Walker, who was our guest last week. I'm not like Lawrence Tam, who I'm actually learning from this week. But we do have some pretty stellar individuals within our organization, present company not excluded. So thank you very much for joining me today, Mr. Adam Bird. You with me, bro? Yeah, your internet connection is a little bit slow, and I actually don't.
It's
There you go.
internet here is so
Wow, yeah,
it is what it is. Can you hear me,
I can hear you now. I can hear you now, but
JD?
yeah, I can hear you
All right.
now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was skipping there a little bit. I don't know if everybody's getting home from work and jumping on the internet or whatnot, but it's been one thing after another. But it's all right. It's because
Right.
tomorrow's a new day, and I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. So
Outstanding. And we're actually going to go over something like that. And I read you Lima Charlie now, so you're good. All right. So today's theme is how to get out of your rut, and you can use this information basically whether it's just in life or it's in your business. Whatever you do, we're more than happy if you just take one thing from today's lesson and actually allow it to help you. Then that's why we do what we do, because that's what we want to do. We want to help people, especially our military family. So big shout out to our military family out there, active duty, guard, reserve, veterans. We love you all. Spouses, you know what? You're part of the family too. So thank you very much for what you do. But getting into it, let's go ahead and dive right in, because we are going to be a little bit short on time tonight because of the late start. But how to get out of your rut in life and in your business. Everybody's come across a time in their life, it may be recently, it may not have been that long ago, it may have been a long time ago, where your day just didn't feel right, or your week just hasn't felt right, and you're not getting the results that you want, or something doesn't go as planned, and it'll put you in a rut. You know, it'll kind of beat on you a little bit if you let it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to give you some advice on how not to get in a rut, how to stay out of a rut, how to stay positive, how to keep the right mindset, and just always move forward. Always move forward by taking massive action, keeping your eyes on your dream, on your vision, on your why, which we'll go over here in a little bit. Okay, make sure you do those things, and if you do those things every day and you stay consistent, then there's a lot of things that good that can come out of it. So let's start out with what I want you to do first. The first thing you need to do first is you need to acknowledge that you're in a rut. Okay, because once you acknowledge that you're in a rut, that means that you know that you need to take action. Okay, don't just sit back and be like, it's because of the weather, or it's that time of the year, or everybody's struggling, so it's okay. Don't settle for that. Okay, because what everybody else does has nothing to do with what you can do. All right. I'm making it in my business. I'm making enough to basically quit my job right now, but it doesn't mean that that's where I'm going to be stuck. It doesn't mean that because those are my results that you can't go further than that. That you
And
can't.
for JD, let me jump in here real quick to interject something, folks. When JD's talking about his job, he does have a day job. So I just wanted to just clarify that a little bit. JD does own his own business on the side. I own several businesses myself, and it allows us to have the lifestyle in which we live, and it allows us, more importantly, to do some of the things that we want to do, which I'm sure we'll get into here in just a few minutes. But if you've ever thought about, if you're tired of the day in and day out 9 to 5, or whatever schedule you're working, and it's not producing what type of lifestyle you want to live, then the question is this is the decision hour. What type of decision are you going to make to change that?
Absolutely, and thanks for clarifying that, Adam. And to be upfront and 100%.
All right, JD, please continue.
Okay, so to be honest and be upfront 100%, the reason why I made the decision one day was because my job, which I love, I absolutely do, because I get to work with veterans and active duty members every day, which is awesome because my health is not where it once was, and I'm a little bit older now, so I wouldn't actually be able to get back in and serve. So by what I do during the daytime allows me kind of to still serve and help out the soldiers for today and help out my military family. And I'm not going to go into exactly what I do, but the job allows me to do that. So it's going to take a lot for me to walk away from that. But the reason why I made the decision to run my own business on the side is because even though I love that job was basically giving me the opportunity to make it to my next paycheck. That job was basically giving me the opportunity to earn my vacation days, okay, which is basically what everybody goes through in a 9 to 5 job, okay. And what running my own business does for me now is, one, I don't have to worry about my bills. I don't have to worry about my bills at all because they're already paid pretty much. There's a lot of my bills that I pay months in advance now, and that is awesome. It also allows me to travel about once every 2 to 3 months to places that, to be honest with you, I've never been. In the past year, I've been to Vegas. We've been to Vegas, but I've been to New Orleans, never been there before. I've been to Orlando, never been there before. I'm 3 weeks away from going to Nashville, Tennessee, never been there before. So this is an awesome opportunity for me to be able to get out and actually start enjoying life. And here's the really cool thing about that. Okay, I mentioned that a lot of people have to ask permission to or earn their right to take vacation. And before we get into today's lesson, I definitely want to get this story out because it's important. I still have to earn vacation days if I want those to be paid vacation days. But now I don't have to worry about how many paid vacation days I have because I've got the money on the side to just get what they call non-paid vacations approved. And the vacation in April, only one of the 4 days I'm going to be gone is actually paid. The rest is on me. So I don't know how many of you can miss 3 out of 5 days of pay and be okay with that, but I can do that. And I've already set it up to where I will be doing that. So 3 out of my 4 work days that I'll be missing, I'm paying for basically out of my pocket, and I'm okay with that. And making the decision has given me the opportunity to do that, where before, in the last, let's say, 5 years, I've traveled maybe 3 times before I made the decision. I've already matched that and about to surpass that in 1 year. And I love that. I love having the freedom to be able to do that. So I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. Even working for Mr. Adam Bird with the radio, I've set it up to where, I got people that'll be covering the show while I'm gone.
Yep.
And, I love that. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, it's amazing how things are, how you got everything set up. I've known you for, 9, almost 10 years now, and just seeing you progress, through the years has been really refreshing. And it's funny because I'll have days. I'm human, people, believe it or not. I do own a couple of businesses. I'm a very busy person, and I'm not where I want to be yet in life. However, that doesn't mean I'm not happy. I am happy with what I do have. I'm very blessed, and you'll hear me, quote. You'll hear me say how blessed I am, and that's because I am. I'm a single parent, and that's ultimately why I got into the business for myself, is because I wanted to make sure that I had time to, when my son had extracurricular activities after school or whatever it may have been, that I was able to do that without having to ask somebody permission to do that. But kind of going back on the topic of today's show, which is getting in if you're in a rut, how to get out of it. And this is actually somewhere where I feel like I've been in a lot lately. I feel like I've been in a rut lately. And I've recognized it. And for me, I think something that helps me is I'm a Christian, so I pray about things quite a bit, looking for guidance. Some of the other things that I started doing is I dug up some old CDs and motivational CDs and stuff like that I started listening to again, and that does actually help. It's the law of, some people have heard the law of attraction. How do you get out of a rut? Start being positive. Well, how can you be positive when you're negative, your bank account's negative, and you owe all these bills? It's easy. You choose to be positive about it. You could be in a very crappy situation, and believe me, folks, I've been there countless times, whether it's in a relationship and you're not getting along with the person right now, or you got bills that you can't afford, or whatever the case is. Choose to be positive. Think of something positive about it. There's a reason why you're going through what it is you're going through, and you can't see it now, and that's fine. You don't have to see it, but it's going to make you a stronger person once you've gone through it. And that's what you need to focus on. That's actually a positive thing, because if you can go through something, again, regardless of what the situation is, if you learn from it, you're going to be a stronger person, and that's going to push you even closer to whatever it is that you're wanting out of life. Does that make sense? JD, what are your thoughts on that?
No, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I write down my show notes before the show and things that I wanted to cover, and one of them says attitude is a choice. And you hit the nail right on the head for that. So, and it's great. When you get up in the morning, from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, whatever your attitude is during that day, you had that attitude because you chose to have that attitude. Now, let me clarify something real quick. It's okay to have initial reaction of being frustrated. It absolutely is. All right, holding that stuff in will just give you a headache. All right, but with that being said, if something makes you upset, if something gets you angry, if something starts to put you in a bad mood, if you hold on to that anger and you let that destroy your day, that's your fault. That is 150% your fault. Again, the initial reaction of being upset is that's just being a human being. All right? But if you hold on to that after the fact, that's your fault. If the girl at work makes you mad or the guy at work makes you mad, I don't want to it sound like I'm against girls. Most of my coworkers are females. Um, but if you get upset because of a coworker first thing in the morning, and at the end of the day you're still mad about that, that's your fault. Okay, because you can change your attitude in a second. You can change your mindset in a second, in a split second. And I've done exercises with people. I've done exercises with large groups. And let me rephrase that. I don't exercise that much at all. But I've done exercises. Thank you, Adam. I've done exercises with large groups to where I've taken them from a majority of them, male and female, from where they were almost crying because I had them thinking about something in their past that just made them depressed, made them sad. And within less than a minute, I had them laughing. I had them smiling. Okay? So, for example, for our listeners out there, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it will work if you truly believe that you can do this. This will work, okay? And this really wasn't part of today's show, but you know what? This is important, okay? Because I want you to think about the last time that you were frustrated, all right? I mean frustrated, like you just couldn't get it out of your mind. Something frustrated the hell out of you, all right? There was something going on. Somebody said something. Somebody did something. Something happened at work. Something happened at the office. Something happened at home, and you were just mad, all right? I'm not talking about abusive mad. I'm just talking about just frustrated. It just ruined your day. I want you to think about that moment. And I don't want you just to think about that moment, but I want you to actually picture that moment. I want you to picture the environment around you. What time of day was it? Where was it at? Who was around you? What was that specific incident that made you upset? Think about it. What were you wearing? What was the smell in the air? I'm trying to get you pissed off right now is basically what I'm trying to do. I want you to really think about that idiot, that person, that coworker, whatever the case may be. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about that feeling that you had inside of you, that you were just frustrated as hell, and that ruined your entire day. Think about that moment. It's not a good moment. This feeling that you have right now, this is not something that you want to hold on to, but you have it right now. It's fresh in your mind. You know exactly what you were wearing. You know exactly what everybody else was wearing. You pretty much know exactly what time of day it was, too. And now what I want you to do, I'm going to ask you to dig down right now, and I want you to think about one of the happiest days of your life. I want you to think about the happiest day of your life. Was it getting married? Was it the birth of your child? Was it winning the lottery? Was it graduation from college? Graduation from high school? Getting your first job? Getting that first paycheck? Making the decision to quit your job and walk away knowing that your dream and your vision of true freedom has finally come true. Adam, I'm going to ask you right now, what vision do you have in your mind? What are you thinking about?
What am I thinking about right now?
What's that one happy moment right now that you're thinking about? What was the happiest point in your life that you can think of right now?
My son being born.
Your son being born. And you know what? Childbirth is actually one of the top topics that people think of. Now, I want you to think about that time, man. Think about up to that moment, man. You're in the delivery room. Everything's just chaos. All right, everything's chaos. You remember what you looked like. You remember what your son's mom looked like. I bet you remember everything she was yelling at you. I bet you remember every single
No,
name of the book she
actually,
called you.
it was no, it was actually a lot different.
All right, good.
They had drugged her up, and she was she was passed out snoring during the entire procedure.
Are you serious?
It was yeah. I can't make that up. She was snoring the entire procedure, and it was loud to the point where we were me, the doctors, and the nurses, we were joking about it. We are just like, oh, somebody gave her too much. But no, it was. I mean, but I remember seeing my son for the first time, and that was I felt my entire life change at that moment.
And what was that feeling like, man?
Um, I don't even know if there's words to describe it. I felt, you know, it was like wow. It was like all of a sudden, I have somebody else that I need to be that I'm responsible for. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had been in the military for I don't know 5 years at that time, and it was it was just different. You know, it was just I don't know how to explain it. You're just like, well, okay, so now everything about you know going out and drinking on the weekends and hanging out with this and that and whatever that none of that was important anymore. Like everything was just about this little person right here and what I could do to ensure that I give this little person a good life and to set a good example, and so they grow up to be a good person.
And you know what, Adam? I've met your son. I know your son, and your son is awesome. And that's only, a testament to you as a father. The decisions that you have made, and I want you to think about not only the childbirth right now, but I want you to think about just some of the moments during your son's life that just made you smile, man. Yeah, just some of that. I'm not asking you to call him
Every
out because I know he listens. So,
every 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 day, man. I mean, it's
but seeing what type of a young man your son has grown into, and knowing that you're responsible for that,
I've
how does
said
that
this
make you
before
feel?
on other. Honestly, I'm still scared. uh, it's scary because I realize um, that he's 12 years old and it's been him and I for the last 11 years, just the two
Hmm.
of us, and um, as he's getting older, he's getting it's more fun because there's different things that he can do now, and but it's scary at the same time because I've realized that I'm just as much as dependent on him than he is on me.
Hmm.
Um,
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, knowing that you two have the bond that you do, you know, knowing that there could have been many different paths that both of you could have chose up to right now. And let's just clear it out. Your son is what, 12?
Yes,
Okay, so we're not talking about a full-grown adult here, but there's still a lot of decisions that he could have made that a lot of kids today make that take them down the wrong path. Knowing that your son is where he is right now, I mean, don't you get like some sort of like a sense of pride for that?
absolutely.
Okay.
Um, it 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 does. At the same time, there's always that you always want to be able to give your child more. And I've heard parents say this before I was a parent. I remember when I was younger, parents, when you're a parent, you'll understand. I was like, yeah, whatever. I I get it now. I get that there's always stuff that you want. And what's funny about it is that you ask him, he doesn't care if you have a nice house or a pool or a bike or he doesn't care about any of that. He doesn't care if you go on trips or anything like that. All that he wants is all the kids. And those of you that are parents out there right now, pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. All your kids care about is your love. That's all they want. They want that love and attention. That's all that they care about.
Amen.
They don't care about the Xbox, but all they care about is you loving them and showing them that you love them. That's it.
Outstanding, man. Feels pretty good, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It was nice. It was nice. You know, tomorrow will be my 2-year anniversary that I quit my day job, and they've been doing, you know, that's on media stuff full time. And it's the fact that I'm still here is for me the grace of God, and it's only getting better. So it's, you know, as it's not easy. It's not easy to own your own business. That's because if it was, everybody would do it, you know.
Right.
And owning several businesses at the same time is definitely not easy. But I'm still here, and it's because I'm strong on my faith and my morals, and I got, you know, a good support system. I got good friends like JD, and you know, my family and whatnot to support. And when I get down, it's a quick reminder. You know, I know I can turn to them, and they're like, hey, what are you down for? You got this, and this, or you've created this, or you've done this. Look at all the stuff that you have done thus far. And it's real easy to forget about the stuff where you've come from, or the path that you've created when you're in that rut. When you're in a rut, a lot of people, and this is my experience at least, people that I've dealt with, but a lot of the people that get into ruts is because they're not happy with where they are in life, and sometimes they forget about how far that they've come. A lot of people have come along. You know, some people have gone through a lot of stuff to get to where they're at today. You don't have to be happy with where you're at today. Be blessed and grateful for what you do have, but that doesn't mean the journey doesn't have to end there. So to get yourself out of a rut, think about where you've come from. It's like this. I want everybody to picture your life as like a hallway full of doors, okay? And as you're walking down the hallway, you'll see some doors open, some doors close. And as you go through life, you want to close some doors, and some doors will remain open, right? Well, if you don't close the doors that you're supposed to close, when you get further in life, sometimes you might peak, right, or get to a plateau. So what I want everybody to do right now is, if you're feeling this way, if you're in a rut, what I want you to do is I want you to just close your eyes and picture yourself in this hallway and turn around and look at where you've come from. And if there's doors that are open that should be closed, obviously we can't go running down the hallway with our arms open and just knock these doors closed because we can't go into the past. Nobody's developed a time machine other than Doc and Marty McFly, and we don't have access to that. So for argument's sake tonight, I just want you to close your eyes. I want you to turn and look down the hallway where you come. And if you feel like there's certain doors that are open that shouldn't be, that should be closed, and closing those doors will help you move forward in your life, I want you to slap your hands together as hard as you can and pretend that those doors are slamming shut. And then I want you to turn back around and look toward the future and start realizing there's probably a lot more doors that just appeared, whether they're open or closed, and maybe they're just cracked. But there's more doors now because you let go of that crap that was holding you back. Don't get yourself in a rut. Well, let me rephrase that. It's okay to be in a rut because you're human. It's okay to be in a rut. That's part of life. That happens. It's how we learn. The important thing is, don't stay there. Don't stay there. Don't have a pity party for yourself. Don't find something. And it could be, if you're a parent, and I'm speaking to the parents out there right now, if you're a parent and you're in a rut, look at your children. Look at your child, or look at your children, and be grateful that you have them, because not all parents have their children to hold. If you're Yeah, let's say if you don't have any kids and if you're married, turn to your spouse. Even if your spouse is the one that's causing you all the grief right now, give them a hug and just tell them thank you for being a part of my life. Because what that's doing is that starts developing positive things coming into your life. Now you're being grateful for things. And what's going to happen is the more that you're being thankful, the more that you're being grateful, the more and more things are going to come into your life. Now, for those of you that are Christians out there like myself, this is something that I would, somebody, oh, I can't believe it. Listen, whether you're a Christian or not, this is something that works for me, so I'm going to tell you because it works for me. Pray about it. Talk to God about it. Go somewhere quiet and just pray. Ask for strength. Ask for guidance. Ask for wisdom. And I guarantee you'd be surprised on how much easier, not necessarily easier, but how much funner and more enjoyable life can be just by doing that. So take a moment, folks, to do that. We're gonna get in ruts. I get into ruts. I'm in a rut right now, to be honest with you. I'm in a rut right now, but I've been positive, and the punches keep coming. It's like if you were to look at it for all you sports fanatics out there, if you're looking at the good guys versus the bad guys, and you're the good guys, and the bad guys are trying to prevent you to go from where it is that you're wanting to go in life. Bad guys are trying to hold you back. That's how you can look at it right now. Don't let the bad guys win, because guess what? This too is only temporary. Whatever it is that you're going through, regardless of how bad the situation may seem right now, it's only temporary. And you're going through it for a reason. Don't question it. Go through it, learn from it, and move forward in your life. JD?
No, that was awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate that. And we're the thing about me and Adam, and we're part of Power Quantum Phoenix, which is part of a larger group, Power Quantum, which is our team. We will always be honest, and every part of our team will always be honest with you. And however we can help you out and help you get out of your rut, we're definitely going to do that. So for what I did was I went ahead and I just kind of built up like a checklist for our team members, for our new team members. If you're thinking about joining us, there's a checklist that I want you to go through. There's certain things that I want you to do. All right, and the first thing, as we've been talking about, is attitude is a choice. All right, so if you're ready to get out of your rut, if you're ready to really start making a change in your life, the first thing you need to do is you need to choose the right attitude. You need to know that no matter what happened yesterday, whatever happened this morning, whatever happened 3 weeks ago, that has no effect whatsoever on how tomorrow is going to be for you. Okay, so if you had a bad day at work today, starting from this point forward, that has no effect on you whatsoever. If you're sitting at home and you're listening to this, that has no effect on what's going to happen in the future for you whatsoever. So you need to have the right attitude. You need to come into this with the right mindset that says tomorrow is going to be better. Tonight's going to be better. Next week's going to be awesome. Okay? And that all starts again with having the right attitude and the right mindset. Second, get the negative people out of your life. And this is a hard step for a lot of people. All right? Because a lot of times the negative people in your life, the ones that keep you down and do their best to keep you down because they don't want you to be successful, because they can't see themselves as being successful, get them out of your life. Okay? Get the negative people out of your life. And I'm not just talking about somebody that you wake up in the morning and they just made you upset. All right? If they're not somebody that always shows up, to try and keep you down, or always says things to you that, you always look at and be like, why would you say that to me, man? I'm talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that, for some reason, they feel it's their job to keep you down. Get those people out of your life. The people that, every once in a while, you look at and you're like, you know what, just get away from me. It's okay to say that, but if that's the first time they've ever, upset you, keep those people in your life, okay? Give them a chance. Don't close that door, all right? But what I do want to say is, if you're looking at somebody and they just make you upset for the simplest thing, keep them in your life. Okay, don't look at the person and be like, you know what, you're out of my life. Get out of my life. I don't want anything to do with you. And the next thing you know, you're 5 months old. Like, look, I don't have any control over this. The stuff just comes out. All right, can you change the diaper, please? Don't kick those type of people out of your life for something that's just happens in a moment and is not the type of thing that happens all the time. All right. So those type of people, the negative people, kick them out of your life. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just gonna say it's negative people can it's like a cancer, and here's the thing, it's hard for me to keep even negative people at a distance because excuse me, it's no secret that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm a very caring and loving individual. I can also be a not so nice person, so I'm told by many. But I don't. I have a hard time because even people that are negative, I try to look at it. I try to find the good. Maybe they just need some guidance, and maybe I'm the person that's supposed to give them a little guidance. And there is a point where you do have to kind of, cut the cord, if you will, with those negative people and not let them into your life. I also want to piggyback off of something else. You said not to push people out of your life, and this is something else. That is something that I've done in my past. So for those people that are listening, I've pushed family members, I've relationships and whatnot, people out of my life, and it was dumb. And later in life, you wish you wouldn't have. You're not always going to be able to control situations. In fact, you're not going to be able to control situations, period. Let's just come to that right now, folks. Don't think you're going to be able to control a situation, because you're not. Lose that right now. What you can control is your reaction to that situation. Whether it's a loved one and you misunderstand what that person's saying and you react in a negative way, you may regret that later on in life. And I try to tell people, don't live life with any regrets. But if you love somebody and you care about that person, don't react to something. They may say something that upsets you. My first question to you is, did you listen, and did you actually hear what they said? And if the answer is yes, don't react negative to it, because believe it or not, they have an opinion on stuff, and they're entitled to that. The same thing with people you work with, or a job, or whatnot. You might be stuck in your job. You don't have control of that situation because you need to pay the bills and whatnot. But don't go in there and have a bad attitude every day, because that's not going to get you anywhere either. Look at it as, you know what? I'm blessed to have this position. It's only temporary. I'm only going to move forward from this experience. It's all about how you look at it, folks. And I know we're getting ready to wrap up here because we got a late start because of some internet issues and whatnot. But I want to say this tonight, folks. Feel loved. Know I got about 10 things now that I need to post, and I just haven't posted. I've been in a rut, and I'm not afraid to admit that because I'm human. And I don't, honestly, your opinion of me is none of my business. And I'm not going to let a negative opinion of me, if there's any, cause or affect what I am trying to do in life, which is over. In closing, for me, folks, you're listening to the Decision Hour. It's time to make that decision. Are you going to be positive? Are you going to be negative? If you're going to be negative, shoot me an email and tell me why you chose that route. I hope you chose the positive route. I hope you decide to keep moving forward. And remember, folks, whatever it is that you're going through, make the decision to push through it and be positive and learn from it. That's all I got, JD.
No, that was great, bro. That was great. I completely agree. Um, well, one of the things that I want to help, I want to let you guys go with something that I do every morning, okay, to start my day off right, okay? I love my job. I hate my work environment only because it's a cubicle. I can't stand that, which is why I have a cordless headset at work. And I walk around and I talk too much. But there's times where that cordless headset will burn out and needs to be recharged, and then I got to go put on the old one with the cord. It feels kind of like a leash to me, and I don't like that. That's keeping the dog in the yard. The dog needs to be able to roam. So, but, I always get up in the morning, I go to work in a positive mood. So how do I do that? Regardless of what happens to me the night before, that morning, I'm up about an hour early. I only work about 8 minutes, 10 minutes away from where I live. So I got plenty of time. I get up about an hour early, do what I need to do for hygiene. And then what I will do is I will watch something that I love to watch. It's hilarious. I'll watch like comedians like Dane Cook. I love Dane Cook. Vicious Circle is one of my favorites, and I'll watch that over and over because it gets you laughing. All right, it doesn't make you think about the issues that you had yesterday at work. It doesn't make you think about the issues you had last night. I'm not saying you have to watch that one, but it's a great one to watch. Pick something out that you love to watch, even if it's just a short flick. A little 10, 15-minute episode of Family Guy, or whatever the case may be. I'm a big Family Guy nut too, because it completely takes reality out of it for me, to where I'm not thinking about anything that I'm going through when I'm watching that, because there's nothing that happens on Family Guy that actually has to do with my life, because all their stuff is just completely off the wall. So that's why I watch that. That, American Dad, whatever it is, I watch that type of stuff because it allows me to not only escape from reality for a little bit, but I completely forget about what happened yesterday, what happened earlier on. So watch something that makes you laugh. Watch something that's entertaining. All right? Listen to an audio. Like I always listen to, there's one 6-minute, almost 7-minute audio that I listen to. It's called Dream by Matthew Sam, and he's got a lot of motivational videos. I listen to it every single day. Look it up, Dream, motivational video by Matthew Sam. Look it up on YouTube. 6.5 minutes. Okay? I listen to that every single day. I could recite it right now if you want me to, but we are about to close. So I'll share it on my blog for you at themotivatedmindset.com. You can check it out. You can also check up on birdstheword.com, BIRDZtheword.com. That's Mr. Adam Bird's blog. And if you want to join Power Quantum Phoenix, go to our Facebook page, the Decision Hour. There is a button on top of the logo that says Watch Video. You really want to know what we're all about and what we're doing and how we changed our lives? Watch that video. Okay? Hey, JD, and that video will rotate.
JD, repeat that again real quick.
All right. So if you want to make the decision to join us today, go to Facebook. Go to the Decision Hour. And there is a video, is a button that says Watch Video. It's right on top of our logo. Okay? Go ahead and watch it. All you got to do is just put in your email, okay, to watch it. We're not asking for your credit card. We're not asking for anything like that. It's a free video. It's very in-depth. It tells you everything that's going on and why you need to make the decision today. All right? So go ahead and make that decision. Join myself, Adam, and about 30 other team members that we're changing our lives every single day, and we're helping others change theirs. So hopefully we'll be able to do the same for you. Adam, do you have any closing words?
That's it, folks. Thanks for listening to Decision Hour this week. Make sure you check out all the shows on the Vets Media Network simply by going to www.vetsonmedia.com. Until next week, I'm Adam. I'm out.
Later.